I mean, Hex, I'm already excited to see a Soldier 76 straight out the gate.
Did they just switch off of it though? So that
oh no!
Excitement.
They left him in spawn.
Yeah, I would have loved a Soldier 76 too. It has been a long time since we've seen the old man. However, on this side of Crusuhdude, it's gonna be a Zenyatta that's gonna be played by the Rixer. Jonah will play McCree. Traub on Mercy. Ira was on that 76. He broke your heart on being Reinhardt now. Dreft will play the Junkrat, and Hypoc is on the Reaper.
Breaking my heart there a little bit. Bromas will be feeling the same if he was watching. But yeah, so we're going to see from Flair. Ark's going to be on the Zenyatta, Pig on the Mei, Fate's Wheel on the Diva, Rex on the Reinhardt, caps up on Mercy, Zintherin again on that McCree as well. Proved to be very, very solid and dependable. So yeah, no Winston this time around as we saw in Hanamura. But so maybe less divey potential here as well. But they're going to come out the gates here all over towards the left side. And Peak actually straight out in front. So again, like you referred to earlier on, maybe the Mei to give them safer passage around the back side of this statue.
Yeah, they're not going to drop the wall right for their initiation. Still on the slow poke. It looks like they want to go through the hotel room. They're going to bully their in. And now here comes the Diva push.
Straight on towards the point there as well. Shield's being broken now as well. Era's going to get stunned up now. A lot of damage on him, but the Harmony Orb only keeps him alive for so long. Now standing up on the point, Rex is going to fall down, and Fate's Will off towards the side, having to do his own stuff here. Zintherin, Discord having to back away, and it might be the story for the entirety of Flair here. Having lost Rex seems to have forced them back somewhat, but now they're going forward. Peak really leading the charge here. He's further forward than Fate's Will is, and they're on this point again. It's going to be the job of Crusuhdude to come back in and fight this one out. Another wall up here. The fight sort of bleeds down a bit more.
A really nice job, though. Even when they were 4v4, they kept eyes on the hotel flank. The McCree was over there. He gets taken out now, but they kept eyes on the flank, kept pressure on the point. They're going to pressure the point out now. Big advantage for the offense.
That visit was insane as well. It actually managed to catch Jonah inside the hotel. The radius is so damn big. And now the fight comes back in as well. You can see that Flair were ready to fight as those frozen people got thawed, as it were. And they're going to get put up against the wall here. Oh my lord, the Zenyatta now going to fall last and foremost. It's going to be the point taken straight off here as well. Flair showcasing some of the new mechanics here, especially in terms of Mei there as well. That Blizzard covered so much damn ground, Hicks.
Yeah, we're firmly back in the Mercy meta too. It appears the Resurrection came off for the offense. They're allowed them to continue that fight, got their 6 of the Resurrection available offensively yet again. So we'll see if the Resurrections are going to be the deciding factor. They generally are, which puts a giant target on Mercy's back, makes a flanking part like so much more crucial. So if you can take down the Mercies early in this fight, it's going to win you fights essentially.
Yeah, I like this little trio here up on top here, the McCree with the Mei and Mercy. I don't know what they're going to try and do. Maybe just jump down and start a fight here. It's going to be the defending side coming forward, trying to attack Crusuhdude, hoping to make something happen here. But the Deadeye from a good position. Zintherin gets on towards Jonah. The opposition McCree falls down. Self-destruct gets Dreft as well. His ultimate's being used very, very effectively here for Flair, and they're going to buy themselves a fairly smooth progress here through the streets phase.
Really easy cleanup there. Not a whole lot to say about that fight. Just generally mopped up defensively. It's going to really matter if they're going to be able to get here to stop this last point. One of the most crucial points in this map is it flips your spawn forward, makes the walk much more bearable. They are in position. They're going to wait out. Zoning Deadeye comes down early, but the wall comes and block it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's going to be so frustrating to deal with as a defending side now as well. Earthshatter comes down immediately, followed up by Transcendence here. No one actually getting knocked down there, so Rex can't go in on that fight. He's going to back away off towards the side. Zintherin being zoned out by Dreft here a little bit now. Discord on Isaiah. That's the big Earthshatter coming in as well with the Blizzard on top. Era is going to be stopped in his tracks, eventually able to shrug it off, but now has to charge out of that radius. Finally, the defensive side gets him with a decent fight, but there's the res. Ark, Rex, Zintherin all up on their feet now, and their Transcendence to follow this up on. This might make the damage just stick here, but Jonah gets himself 2 quick kills off towards the side. The defender's actually getting good position to fight back in.
Yeah, Death Blossom comes down to try to finish out this fight. It's just Reinhardt. He does take down the Reaper, who's annoying him, but they do stop him before they get the second point. And I would agree with Joshua what he mentioned the other night. It's like, God, Resurrection makes casting so much more difficult because everything's going one way, everything's completely one-sided. There comes the Resurrection there, resets the entire fight. The Blizzard was late, which is why they ended up losing that fight. Really nice Earthshatter on that, on there, and so he was able to clean up 2 of the Earthshatter came down. Blizzard came down late, but Resurrection reset everything in that fight. We'll see. It is the defense with the Resurrection now, so as long as Traub stays alive, they shouldn't lose this fight.
Graviton Surge comes in while Zintherin is using Deadeye, and the wall actually comes up from Peak there just to avoid any follow-up damage. Great little use of that one there. Jonah gets towards Zintherin, they're easy enough, and now Transcendence comes in. He's going to see a self-destruct over the top as well. Who's that going to catch? No one by the looks of things here. Fate's Wheel has to sheepishly resuit up, and it might just be Flair giving some ground here. They need to wait for those reinforcements. They lost Zintherin so early on in that fight.
Yeah, they're going to back up completely. This is a total retreat on the offense after none of those ultimates got any value. Notably, the self-destruct went into a transcend, not enough to do any damage there, so they're going to try to reset, get the shield back to healthy, and now do the slow push again. It looks like D.Va's looking to flank.
Yeah, we'll see what he can make happen with this one there as well. He's going to run in towards the Reaper, but now the Blizzard's going to come down there as well. Era trying to get away. No, he's going to get frozen up. Now he's going to get taken down. The Harmony Orb not able to keep him alive long enough, and Jonah being caught out. That's not the kind of alley you want to meet a Reinhardt in a Dark Knight. The Resurrect comes in here as well, and it's just going to add to the pain here. Trop trying to keep his team up, but the Transcendence over the top. This is going to make the damage stick that little bit more. You can see now Rex forced to go in towards Ice Block form there, but Rex up on his feet now, and that Reinhardt going to smack Deft around. Death Blossom comes in, doesn't get a heck of a lot at all there. Hypoc goes down before he can even utter the words die, die, die. And that fight will be won here solely by Flair, finally making some progress. But Hex, 2 good fights there, to be fair, for Crusuhdude actually buying themselves some crucial seconds. A minute 24 before we hit the checkpoint.
They bought a ton of time based on how it was going through the streets phase for them at that point, but a nice resurrection there in the end brought the team back to full health. It's the resurrections have just been so back and forth. Giant fights come out, now you have to start playing around the idea of we need to do a wipe just to force them into resurrect, and we need to do it again, and teams are not exactly looking comfortable with it and how to fight post-resurrect. The offensive team had really nice 3K after those resurrects, so we'll see if that continues to be the theme.
Yeah, it's a bit more forgiving now as well when you can act sooner after getting rest here. But nice, look at this boost up. They're going to come in over the top. Perfect way to catch an enemy team off guard. Era in the back line, gets his shield up. He's going to avoid the Earthshatter coming in now, but Hypop gets towards the back. Fate's Will. Now the charge comes in there as well. Jonah in between a rock and a hard place here. He's looking for Fate's Will, but he's being healed up the whole damn time. Rez comes in for Trop, gets Era, and Zarix are back on their feet here. And now we're going to see the Transcendence coming in to keep them alive. And this might be the fight that the defenders were looking for.
Era has like about 100% connect rate on his charges. He's going long distance, short distance, etc. But he is always finding a target with his charges. It's exactly what you want out of your Rhine. If they're going to charge, you want them to at least take someone out of the fight. He's done so consistently. Defense with a full hold there, and yeah, the clock continues to tick. About 2 good pushes left for the offense to try to finish out this map.
Let's see what now Drift is going to be able to perform here as well. He does have Graviton Surge available, so you want to be popping that one as well when the time is right. You can see he's pushing forward. He's going to use that one now as well. Self-destruct comes out fairly early on. Is everyone going to be able to avoid that one? No, Drift actually falls to that one. Phase Wheel and the rest of his team going to be able to push further. Peak the first now to fall for the attacking team in this fight, but still, Trop, Tharix are going down now as well, and even Jonah falling. Now Flair getting some progress going in this payload, moving around the corner. Hypoc up towards the backside, but he's been spotted out, forced to Wraith Walk in towards the enemy team, and just off the edge. There's no point sticking around to see the end of that one.
Yeah, he could have gone hero mode. If he lands like 1 or 2 giant meat shots, he's going to have Death Blossom up there too. But knowing that it's more important for him to be alive during this next fight when the offense is at full force. They have their full 6 now up and near the card. Here comes yet another Blizzard.
Going to zone out a lot of space there as well. Nadella coming in for the backside, but a huge Earthshatter comes in. Synthera gets put up against the wall. Era really doing his work, gets the fire strike on towards Arc as well, and picks him up. This is a forced res here as well, but will the attackers be ready to pay off the back of it? Deadeye comes in from Jonah. That's big. Great way to shut down on the Resurrect. You have so much time to respond to people coming back on their feet, and he's going to pick himself up an easy 3 kills. Hypoc now chimes in with just the 2, and that payload isn't moving anywhere now as well, and we're down to 20 seconds, X.
Yeah, for people familiar with the game, you remember old Deadeye into Resurrection. The Resurrect brings everyone up, and McCree's just waiting for him, smiling. It is the highest of noons as he just wrecks everyone there. It's been the feature of many plays of the game there, so it's a nice thing to hold it from McCree, especially if you're in the Mercy meta. A lot of interesting switch-ups here from the offense. Here comes a Hanzo. Here comes a Roadhog.
Yep, and the hook comes in there as well. Fate's Will actually gets knocked down, but manages to hook Era in there. So the Earthshatter not actually getting as much value as it would otherwise. The res being forced now by Trop, and Hypoc going in. Look at his Graviton Surge. Could be a Deadeye coming across the top of it. No, and it's an Earth Blossom instead. Hypoc there gets himself 3 easy kills, and that should slow things up there. Nicely done. And it will be the attackers of Flair held with only 2 checkpoints in hand.
Yeah, last definitely give them the defender's advantage they needed, able to stymie every single one of those pushes. It's actually really important that they were able to stop them pushing second point a lot of the time, because when you have to reset those fights on the second point, it is such a long walk. That's all the way back at first capture time, and you got to get all the way back there. You got to move in with your team, so anytime a staggered death comes in, it's another 10 seconds you can't push in. So holding them there for 2 or 3 pushes when they really needed to get those forward spawns was crucial. Then they were able to buy enough time on last to completely stop them from the map. A nice defense coming out. You don't often see holds on King's Row that aren't first, so well done for them. We'll see what they want to bust out on the defense, and if they can hold the team from progressing to the point which they got to.
Yeah, I mean, the game is a bit less forgiving now as well. You do get less time in general to actually finish. Yeah. So, you got to be on it. You can see it's 4 minutes that will be ready for sort of the defending team to hold. So, yeah, quite unforgiving if you do lose time there as well. But those two fights through the streets phase were interesting. I do enjoy the way that Flair employed May on the attacking side. Over towards the streets phase, you see that there are the boost those 3 players up on towards the high ground, and even then going in towards the foundry. Just the directions you can attack from is really important, and that also gives you an artificial high ground. Now, you're not going to jump off an ice wall and fight, but it allows you to get people into places you otherwise wouldn't be able to access, and essentially create high ground opportunities where before May was a thing, you weren't able to have it all.
Yeah, I think you're just seeing the start of it for May, to be honest, because now that she's going to be back in the meta a little more firmly because of the boost that she got in the most recent patch, I think you're going to see top teams play her a little more than often, and you're going to find out tips and tricks of where to take that high ground. That was a really cool drop-in on the wall over to that artificial high ground, as you mentioned, so I think we're just seeing the potential of what May can bring to a team.
Yes, and yeah, Chad is right. I did call it Earth Blossom beforehand as well, but we moved past these things. It was a Death Blossom. But Hook comes in straight away from Dref. That's why I want to take Roadhog on this first push here. Get a pick and stall out that defending Resurrect or that respawn, so it's going to be a lot more longer before they even get to the point here. Great way to get a numbers advantage. And now you can see that the defending side, Flare just having to back up.
And it's actually a huge pick, and I wouldn't say it often because May has not really been in there, but taking out May first is enormous. You don't have to worry about the geography, the battlefield changing. You don't have to worry about blizzards or ice walls or slows or anything. It's a really nice first pick to enter this fight. Rex on a no man's land.
He's going to get picked up there as well. Error charges back towards the rest of his team here. And these hooks are coming in thick and fast. Dreft is just making it happen here as well. The big fisherman that he is just completely whittled Flare down by 3 players over the course of that fight. There's no way you're going to be able to get back and defend this point. Perfect way to open it up. We've seen teams try it with Hanzo as well as the Roadhog here, but sometimes just the Hog is, well, up.
Yeah, that's why we see a lot of Roadhog on King's Row offense, of course. That first pick on these fights is so crucial. And I get, taking down May, you might as well take down a tank, because there's no wall there, there's no stall going to be available too. May is a unique character in that aspect, but I really think her best play is just substitute her for a tank in certain situations, and taking her down first is enormous.
Yeah, well, we see that the whole Hog is available for Dreft there as well, so I mean, we'll see how he wants to combo that in. No Zarya for the attacking side here, so Hyperlock does have Dragon Strike. He's going to have to use it in this fashion. That's not too bad though as well. Gets it straight through the wall. Gets in there, and are you kidding me? Picks off the McCree at the start of the fight, and the Earthshatter gets absolutely nothing there. Rex is going to fall down because there was no follow-up. There was no McCree, no damage around that corner to help. Capsub gets max range hooked in. Dreft has to trade out for it there as Jonah takes him down, but still the Mercy out of the picture here. This payload ain't stopping for nothing.
That's a fight-winning hook right there, taking on the Mercy before the fight even began. So here comes a really defensive May wall to try to stall out, but we're going to see, are they even going to contest? No, they're going to give up second for free. That always feels bad.
Insane stuff. I mean, when you get bypass the streets phase after getting an immediate cap on the first point, I mean, now you're starting to stress a little bit here if you're Flare. We've seen Crusuhdude come out of the gates incredibly strong here, and off the back of these pick positions as well. Sometimes exactly that's all you need on a long map, and now you can see that Flare giving up a lot of ground. Payload's about to round the corner. Deadeye comes out from Jonah now as well. Shield will be up. It gets broken down. The wall comes up, but Rex, it wasn't enough time to save him there as well. Zintharian going to use his Deadeye from the backside, but this time Error will not be shifting that shield. That payload has made so much free progress because of the one pick-off.
Yeah, here comes the Dragon as well, and he hits Roadhog, and they're going to charge out the Zenyatta. Everyone hitting Q. Here comes a Blizzard. If they can clean this up, they're going to hold.
A lot were caught by that one. 3 caught in the Blizzard. The Resurrect comes in there as well, but I don't think that's really going to make much of a difference. Jonah manages to keep himself alive, but he's already discorded and being chased down by those orbs around the corner. He is going to piece on out over the edge and wait for the respawn back in with his team. I guess the silver lining here, if you need it on the side of the attackers, is that they've got plenty of time to work with here, Hex, as well. Crusuhdude have done themselves good justice by making their way through the map so quickly. They just need to press forward. I mean, with where the payload is right now, it's essentially one solid fight and you're done.
It's going to be interesting to see how people start using Zenyatta's Transcendence here now that the meta has changed a little bit, because usually it's reactive. You want to use it to save your team through ultimates, but now that you have a Mercy, you can save your team after ultimates, so it might be more of an initiation support ult in the place of like a Lucio Soundbarrier. So we'll see if they want to push in with the Transcendence active. We'll see how that's used.
Oh, wall goes off there as well, going to prevent the retreat here for the attacking side, and Rex is going to go down first, so not ideal here. Flair were hoping to make something happen off the back of this fight. Now Zintheron comes in with a Deadeye, uses it a little bit too early though, and doesn't get any pickoffs. This is going to force the res now out of Flair. They need to make good use of this. Another wall in the backside now, and a good Earth Shatter. Jonah getting knocked down, but being healed the whole time. He had a Harmony Orb and the heal from Mercy. He's going to keep him alive, and now the McCree's still free to fight. But Error goes down. Jonah having to go deep into this fight. Now the Graviton Surge. You must have known it was coming, but where there was the follow-up going to be, not there. Going to be another Blizzard coming in as well. A lot of people getting frozen to bits. Manages to follow up with 2 more kills. Another person off the edge. Trob wants to join the rest of his team in spawn.
Some nice and patient defensive ults there. We did have a disconnect on the offense, though, which is unfortunate. It happened midway through that fight. But they were able to kind of bait out some ultimates. A really late Transcend, a really late defensive Blizzard comes out, too. I think people talk about ultimates that charge very quickly, and we think about Pulsebound, we think about Deadeye, but Blizzard is right up there. Another Blizzard available for that fight, already at 20% for peak. Just that passive charge. So right now it is 5v6, which is unfortunate, but it is defense kind of holding sway at the moment.
Yeah, and you got to realize the payload doesn't have to finish the map, it just needs to get close to the end. Whole Hog going to come out now as well, buying a lot of time for Fate's Will and pinning Jonah up against the wall there in a bit of a macabre decoration. Deadeye comes out, Drift falls, Trob over the edge again. Why not?
Oh man, I'm so happy to work with a caster with an accent, because even the word macabre sounds just beautiful. I wish Americans had better accents, but well done on the diction there, sir. Yeah, this is just rough. Here's the thing though, it's 5v6, that's true, but they do have like all their ults up for that 5v6. What they need to do is junk rush their 4, go in and just hit as much as they can, get the resurrection up to bring up the remaining 4, and just try to get it to the yellow box of victory.
Yeah, and that wall comes up again to stop another Deadeye. That's a big old Earth Shatter here. 4 people getting caught up on that one. They got no hope. Error now the last man standing, and of course it's just going to be a little bit of a wet noodle fight between him and the enemy Reinhardt. We see Trob jumping in for the res and trying to make this one happen now. Earth Shatter comes down with the Blizzard. It stops any chance of following up on the Earth Shatter. No one's going to walk into that one, and those that did are already frozen stiff.
Yeah, they're actually really doing their best. It's a nice Transcend to keep his Reinhardt alive in that Blizzard. Transcend is like the hard counter to Blizzard, so nice job there, but just not enough to deal with it. Hypoc is yet to reconnect, so they're missing that second DPS on this team, and it shows. They're getting people down to half health, quarter health, not enough to finish, and that's largely because they're lacking a hero who's got shotguns.
Yeah, I mean, you have a Graviton Surge, you have, you know, an Earth Shatter from Reinhardt, you have those big Wombo ultimates that can actually, I guess, sort of account for not having a player here. I mean, it's kind of a weird line of analysis to take here, but theoretically, you can win a fight 5-on-6. You just need to put them all together. Right now, that means that the attackers, of course, need to charge it up. Crusuhdude just needs to do a lot of damage in general and get ready to go into this fight. You see those ultimates are starting to become ready. Error letting his team know he's almost at Earth Shatter, and that's going to be when they have to go.
Well, you see they've switched. They put the Reaper here, and that's because they have to deal with 2 tanks, a Roadhog, and a Reinhardt. Here comes a Graviton.
That wall was amazing. Error couldn't even follow up on the Graviton Surge. He wanted to charge in, but the wall's going to stop him. But Shadow's even better. He's going to get in and swing for the fence now. Fate's Will manages to stay on his feet. He takes care of Error. Fate's Will, a very important player in this situation, but the res comes in at a great time for Caps up now. The player's going to be back on their feet as well. Oh dear, not much comes from that death blossom there. Jonah being cut down before he can really get any stick, and there it is. That bloody Blizzard yet again. Dreft and Trob caught, and there's nothing they can do to get out.
Yeah, half a second later would have been a better Death Blossom. He would have been in the Transcendence Death Blossoming as well. So they are cleaning up some kills now in this 5v6. They got a 2-kill advantage right now. And as long as the Reaper's still alive, they should be able to chunk through these tanks. That has been one of the issues. Jonah rushing right through the shield, trying to take down Rex, but he gets zoned out by the Devo, boops him away. So just too much beef on the field and not enough DPS to be able to take him down when you're trying to fight 5v6.
Jonah is getting smacked around the ears. He tried to get up and close into the backline and do some damage, but there's just no way you're doing that. Last push coming in now as well. 15 seconds remain here. This might be just the diabolical timing, unfortunately, for Crusuhdude, losing that player right towards the end now. They've got to go in and fight, but they're running out of time. The wall's going to come up. That's going to be up there for a while. Zintheron's going to catch Arrow as he comes around the corner with a Deadeye. Gets himself another one. Larrickson goes down. Dreft also falls, and there's just no chance, no hope for the 5-man side of Crusuhdude. They're going to be cut down here on this point. Trob can't even get his last res available, and that should be that. Jonah now, all he can really do is try and stall this one out, but it's going to be too little, too late. Self-destruct comes in for good measure, and that'll be that. It's going to be Flair, take it away. But they got a bit lucky, Hex, let's be honest.
Yeah, they definitely got a bit lucky, and This is the obligatory Blizzard, please. Pause button. Pause button in 2016 is all we're asking for. So that would be nice. They did put up a fight, 5v6. They actually made some adjustments to their roster to try to do so as well with the Reaper. But you are essentially down a man, and when there's only 12 people on the field and you have less than half of them, it's always going to be a bit rough. Really interesting to see the Mei stuff come out. I think there is definitely a place for Mei. It just, the utility she offers in the wall can replace a Reinhardt shield. It can just do so much. Her kit is very versatile, and we saw the impact Blizzard had in those last fights. So unfortunate for the DC, but also the defense ended up looking pretty good even when they were fighting 6v6.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, they did get pushed in pretty hard, of course, through those first two stages. But, I mean, that's where things started to get much harder for the attacking side. They managed to solidify their hold there in towards the Foundry position, and who knows how it would have ended up either way. And yeah, you touched on Mei a little bit and how that she's giving teams to sort of set up here. But the same principle applies. I mean, teams that set up on Dorade, for example, second point on the street's face and sort of jump down and fight. It's all well and good to be able to get that position, but teams that can't execute once the boots hit the ground will struggle in those fights. So even though Mei can set teams up for that kind of stuff, I think it's a huge advantage in a fight, but teams need to be able to execute on it properly. And that's where I think Flair let themselves down a little bit there. They managed to get, had the element of surprise under their belt, but when it came to actually fighting, yeah, a little bit underwhelming there as well. So they're lucky. They didn't even finish the map, but they're going to get a little bit of a second lease on life there as well with a 5-man team from Crusuhdude. So it's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose.